Granite Ridge is a long-term Angus stud which came on the market 6 years ago. Scott was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to purchase the property, and the herd that existed was game enough to give it a go and has taken over the running of the stud in its entirety from that day and done a very good job.
Scott Finlay, Granite Ridge Angus. We're located in the lower southeast of South Australia, area called Reedy Creek, which is halfway between Kingston and Lucindale. Granite Ridge is an intensive Angus stud. We run on 3,000 acres down here in the southeast, where we run 350 HBR Angus cows. We also have a spring herd that we've got located up in Murray Bridge, where we operate with about 250 to 300 HBR breeders again there. We host 2 bull sales a year. We have roughly 100 bulls put up in February, which is about to turn 18, and then anywhere between 40 and 50 bulls put up for a spring sale in August, which is only just coming up to its 3rd year. It was daunting when we first took over, but it was something that we were right into with genetics, feed conversion. Prior to that, we did have a commercial beef operation, but our main income was actually poultry farmers. We used to grow meat birds for Inghams.
Granite Ridge had a reputation for performance, and Scott was involved in the chicken industry where every day's performance is recognised and measured.
A lot of science, I suppose, to it. Climate control, all the other bits and pieces that you use for weight gain, a lot of those things you can control, whereas out here in our environment, we can't control any of it. You do your best. You try to produce an animal that's going to grow, going to perform and going to last. When we're selecting for a sire, we look for structural soundness, feet being the first step, as if the feet are no good, well, the longevity of the cattle is not going to be any good. We want to make sure that we've got plenty of growth, we've got plenty of power to go with it. Clientele gets paid per kilo, so we do our best to make sure their calves are going to have some grunt in them. We also focus on docility, just a part of eating quality. Make sure that you've got nice, quiet, calm cattle. You never know where the bulls or the cows are going to end up. Phenotype, you definitely want them to look good. You've got to make sure that's probably one of the major things that we look at. They've got to be good looking cattle. Well, the Granite Ridge herd, they were known for a bit of frame, they were known for a bit of power. They'd been around for a long time, so they had a good reputation. Probably slightly moderated the frame from where it was, so we've just brought it down a little bit. We still tried to keep the same power and growth behind the herd, just not quite as much frame.
Certainly they've used AI in a very extensive manner. They do that every year, trying to get the best profile of genetics that they possibly can year by year and stay state of the art for what is relevant to the commercial industry.
First came to Granite Ridge, they'd used Tamania Foe quite heavily as a sire, quite a framey bull. We then, from there, we started using a little bit of the old beast mode. We also use a lot of paratrooper, just slightly more moderate but very thick cattle. Client base, yeah, we're sort of widespread from Adelaide Hills to western part of Victoria and then up north of SA as well. We've probably got, I'd almost say about 80% of our clientele that was actually within about 100k radius of Granite Ridge.
Scott's dared to take bulls up to Broken Hill to display up there at the Ag Fair. He's gone through to Alice Springs to be a part of the show and sale up there.
Well, it's good to get feedback from your clients to see how your progeny are going. It's great to be able to talk to them and find out more about their program as well, how their operation runs, whether they're straight off a mum, whether they hang on to them and go to hooks. Just getting that bit more of an in-depth insight into what they do as to them being able to help them with bull selection. There's nothing better than getting that phone call that says, look, wow, Scott, our calves, you know, we got whatever it is per kilo at the time, and hearing how excited they are to have done so well, that's just great.
I think anyone that ventures into the stud industry has got to have passion first and foremost, and that's probably one of the highest attributes of Scott and the people that he's got around him is the passion for the cattle herd. Behind the passion for the cattle herd becomes the belief in what he's doing and the desire to share that with clients.
The favourite part about it is the breeding. It's just addictive. It really is. You start looking at your pedigrees, start seeing what you've produced, you know, you start bringing more females through that you've seen, that you've used the size or picked the size for. The longer you've been in it, the longer you've been breeding, the more and more you know your own pedigrees. You just really know what's going to complement them. So the future for Granite Ridge is looking pretty good. Our cattle are exactly where we want them. Our client base is a sensational group of people. The community that we're involved with down here is wonderful. The beef industry in general, I couldn't think of a better one to be involved with.